Hey gang, this is John Newton from John's Pipe Journey, also aka Snap-on John 100. It's my other YouTube channel. And today this is a continuation of Pipe Week. I'm going to be going over my Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipes. And I am smoking Peterson Old Dublin in my Savinelli 707 eBay dead guy pipe. This was the first pipe I ever bought. Pardon me while I get set up here. Thanks, Greg. Okay. If you haven't tried Old Dublin, it is the same, just about the same as my mixture 965, except for it's a little more complex, and so I like it better. Well, without further ado, I'm from Southern Missouri, or I live in Southern Missouri now, and so when I found out that Missouri Meerschaum made corncob pipes in the United States, I was just like floored, and I was excited. I drove up like the next weekend and went into the factory store and tried to get a tour, but they weren't giving tours then. But anyway, I bought a couple of them, and I have loved them ever since. The first one I will show you is the last one I've gotten, which everybody seems to know this one now. It's the Bing, and it's a collaboration with Country Squire and Missouri Meerschaum. And it is a beautiful pipe. It's got an acrylic stem, which I like, a brass ring, a really darkly stained nice bowl. That's the first one. And my next favorites were from the Cobit collection, which is a wordplay off of Hobbit. And my favorite one of those is called the Shire, and it's got an acorn-shaped bowl, and a nice long acrylic stem. This one, I put clear epoxy on it just for fun, to turn it into like a regular pipe. So that's why it's shiny like that. The next one is, I got another one. And this one I got, this is a different acrylic stem that I got from Missouri Meerschaum. It happens to be straight. Now, these are among my favorites right here. I put Vermont freehand forever stems on them. This one is a Crimson Gentleman, so it's the same as the Missouri Gentleman, I think it's called, or just Gentleman, same bowl. But it had a short red acrylic stem, and I put this forever stem on it. This is a really beautiful, nice pipe. They really smoke great. If I ever try an aromatic or a Lakeland or something like that, I always use my corn cobs or Meerschaums. This one is the Emerald, which is a beautiful one. It's got a blonde, smooth bowl, a brass ring, and it had a short green acrylic stem. And once again, I put a forever stem on this one. So this is called the Emerald. Love the way this one smokes. Corncob pipes are fantastic smokers. Don't let their lower price fool you. And this one is a Charlestown Cobbler, and this was a collaboration with Cornell and Deal. Charlestown Cobbler. It had, I don't remember what kind of stem, but I put a Forever, a red tortoiseshell acrylic stem on this one. And it just to me, it turns them into a Cadillac. I bought this one just so I could see what the 6mm filtered one would be like. This is a hardwood. There's a blonde. This is maple. I think they have walnut, which is darker. This has a 6mm filter in it. So I just wanted to try that to see what that was like. And then lastly is from the Cobit section. This is a Dwarf. And the stem is what originally came with it. I haven't changed this one. This is a black acrylic stem. It's not plastic. And so this is a very small bowl. Now, what I did with all of mine to improve them is where the stem comes into the bowl, they just cut it at an angle. So you've got this giant cavernous scoop at the bottom in there. And there's usually space underneath it where tobacco would get trapped. And it's big enough that when you draw on it, you can get a lot of ash and junk in there. And so if I don't modify that, I put a filter screen in it, like a brass one or a stainless one. You can get those at head shops because that's what people use for pot. But that will block off and keep you from getting any garbage up the stem. But then what I normally do is I take a drill and carefully cut that wood off. And then I make what's called pipe mortar. And you can get the recipe and see how it's done from Cane Rod Piper. You just type in pipe mortar under Cane Rod Piper's YouTube channel. And he shows you exactly how to make it. It's 1/3, or this is no matter what dimensions you use, it's going to be 1 part plaster of Paris, 50% less or 0.5 parts salt, table salt, like Morton salt, and 0.6 of a part of activated charcoal powder. And I used the one that comes from coconuts. It's super fine. You got to be careful because it's like dust that'll go in the air. It's really, really powdery. But you mix that all together with water, and then you put that in the bottom of the pipe bowl, and it basically solidifies as hard as wood. And so what that does is that takes up all the space that would be down below, and then I put a drill bit or a rod of some sort in the stem as soon as it starts to set up, and make sure that there's an airway that's the correct diameter, and then I pull that out and then just let it set up. And that totally fixes, that makes them great, because I always would get ash and stuff in there. That's another reason, if you use a filter, you won't get any ash, but they don't have that many. The ones I liked weren't filtered pipes. So anyway, that is my corncob pipe collection. I hope you learned something from it, or at least entertained by it. I can't say enough about them. I love my more expensive briar pipes, or my Meerschaum pipes, but I reach for these all the time. I don't have to be as careful with these. If I'm traveling, I use these, because if something happens, I'll just buy another one. And so, anyway, these are my travel pipes, or if I'm knocking around, I'm super careful with my good pipes, so I usually don't even go outside with them, or if I do, I'm like set up in something, or I'm not going to have something fall or something like that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to be doing my next video. I'm going to be setting up my tarp because I camp under a tarp rather than inside a tent. So I'm going to be showing you how I set the two methods of setting up my tarp and also how I hang my hammock. And that will be the next one I'm going to show. Till we meet again, God bless.